द गुड स्कोर इन एसे? डू यू हॅव एनी आयडिया? काही आयडिया आहे त्याच्याबद्दल की चांगला स्कोर काय असतो एसे मध्ये? 130. ओके, व्हेरी गुड. अजून 140. करेक्ट. तर आपल्याला एसे मध्ये 135 प्लस टार्गेट करायला हवं. ठीक आहे. तुम्ही जर मागच्या वर्षीची लिस्ट बघितली टॉपर्सची, जी की तुम्ही बघितली पाहिजे, त्यांची मार्क लिस्ट जी असते, मार्कशीट आणि मार्क लिस्ट जी असते त्यांची, ती तुम्ही पाहिली पाहिजे की एक्झॅक्टली किती मार्क्स कोणत्या पेपरमध्ये भेटतात आणि कशा पद्धतीने आपल्याला स्ट्रॅटेजी बनवायची असते. ठीक आहे. जर UPSC क्लिअर करायची म्हटल्यानंतर तुम्हाला स्ट्रॅटेजी बनवावी लागेल. कोणत्या विषयाला, सगळ्या विषयांना समान इक्वल वेटेज देऊन चालेल का? नाही चालणार. तर एसे इज वन सच पेपर वेअर यू शुड गिव्ह मोर फोकस. ठीक आहे. तर आता या पेपरमध्ये असं काही प्रीडिफाईन्ड सिलेबस असं अजिबात नाही आहे एसे मध्ये. मग एसे लिहायचा कसा असतो? ठीक आहे. तर आतापर्यंत ज्या तुमच्या कन्सेप्ट आहेत एसेच्या, मे बी some of you might have written good essay in your schools or colleges all, and some might not have written a single essay. That can be the one case. All right. Mag, just a second. That can be one case की तुम्ही कधीच एसे लिहिला नाही, बरोबर. इथे UPSCचा एसे ज्यावेळेस तुम्ही लिहिणार आहात, तर फॉरगेट व्हॉट यू नो अँड व्हॉट यू डोंट नो. ऑल राईट. एव्हरीबडी विल बी ऑन इक्वल फुटिंग. त्यामुळे जे कन्सेप्शन असतं आपलं लहानपणापासूनचं की मला एसे जमतो, जमत नाही, किंवा मला खूप चांगले मार्क्स पडायचे म्हणजे आता UPSC मध्ये पडतील, असं अजिबात नाही आहे. किंवा एखाद्याला जमत नसेल एसे लहानपणी शाळेमध्ये, कॉलेजेसमध्ये, आता इथे UPSC मध्ये जमणार नाही असं अजिबात नाही आहे. ठीक आहे. तर तुमची स्किलिंग जी आहे ती मी करणार आहे. ऑल राईट. तर तुम्हाला प्रत्येकाला चांगले म्हणजे बेस्ट 135 प्लस मार्क्स पडतील याची गॅरंटी तुम्हाला मी देणार आहे क्लासमध्ये. ठीक आहे. फक्त तुम्हाला एवढं एन्शुअर करायचं की तुम्ही ज्या गोष्टी तुम्हाला मी क्लासमध्ये घेईन, ज्या डिस्कस होतील, त्या तुम्ही प्रॉपरली नोट डाऊन कराल आणि त्याचे प्रॉपर इम्प्लिमेंटेशन कराल. ठीक आहे. ऑल राईट. तर त्याच्या अगोदर एक ब्रीफ माझं इंट्रोडक्शन देतो. माझं नाव वसुदेव रोंगे पाटील आहे आणि मागचे 7-8 वर्षापासून मी UPSC कोचिंगमध्ये आहे. दिल्लीमध्ये पण मी कोचिंग करायचो आणि आता पुण्यामध्ये करतोय. मोस्टली माझं ऑनलाईन कोचिंग आहे आणि माझ्याकडे 100 पेक्षा जास्त विद्यार्थी सक्सेसफुली UPSC मध्ये क्लिअर झालेले आहेत, इन्क्लुडिंग लास्ट इयर्स 27th रँक. लास्ट इयरचा जो आहे ऑल इंडिया रँक 27, तो पण माझा स्टुडंट आहे आणि खूप चांगला रिझल्ट असतो माझ्या स्टुडंट्सचा. तर तुमचा पण तोच मी एक्सपेक्ट करेन की तुम्ही चांगले इम्प्लिमेंटेशन कराल आणि ज्या गोष्टी तुमच्या होतील त्या तुम्ही चांगल्या पद्धतीनं समजून घ्याल आणि प्रॉपरली इम्प्लिमेंट कराल तुमच्या पेपरमध्ये. ठीक आहे. आता ज्यावेळेस आपले सेशन्स असतील त्यावेळेला ते फार इंटरॅक्टिव्ह वेनं आपण ते सेशन घेतो. इंटरॅक्टिव्ह वेनं म्हणजे काही तुमचं पार्टिसिपेशन तिथे असणं गरजेचं आहे. आता एक लक्षात घ्यायचं आहे की एसे म्हणजे आपल्याला काही सिलेबस दिलेला नाही UPSCने, बरोबर. जो काही एसे किंवा जो काही कंटेंट आपल्याला लिहायचा आहे, that we need to generate from whatever we are reading for general studies as well as your optional paper. ठीक आहे. तर जनरल स्टडीज आणि ऑप्शनल पेपर मधून जो कंटेंट आपण लर्न करणार आहोत तोच कंटेंट आपल्याला एसे मध्ये लिहायचा आहे. सम ॲडिशनल कंटेंट वी विल डेव्हलप. ठीक आहे. सम ॲडिशनल कंटेंट लाईक सम रिपोर्ट्स, सम कोटेशन, सम स्टोरीज for introduction, for conclusions, some proper conclusions that we will work on. But that set aside, everything, the substance of the essay, the substance of the content that you are going to write in essay will be from your GS paper and your optional paper. Optional paper will not be that much significant, but your GS papers will be of much importance. ठीक आहे. तर आता एसे मध्ये 250 मार्क्स आहेत. 250 पैकी आपल्याला 135 प्लस आपला टार्गेट करायचं आहे. इवन सम टॉपर्स कुड नॉट गेट 130 मार्क्स इन एसे. लास्ट इयरचा जो पेपर इव्हॅल्युएशन जर तुम्ही बघितलं थोडंसं टफ झालेलं आहे मागच्या वर्षी, तर थोडंसं रिझल्ट थोडा डाऊन आहे एसेचा. बट अगेन की ज्यांना पडणार आहेत मार्क्स त्यांना पडतात, ज्यांनी मेहनत केली आहे त्यांना मार्क्स पडतात. ठीक आहे. तर आपल्याला चांगली मेहनत करायची एसेवरती आणि आपली एक स्ट्रेंथ बनवायचं एसेला. ठीक आहे. एसे शुड बी युअर स्ट्रेंथ. जे बाकीच्या लोकांना जमत नाही, बाकीची मुलं, जर तुम्हाला एक सिंपल एक्झाम्पल सांगतो. माझा एक स्टुडंट होता, त्याचा इंटरव्ह्यूचा कॉल 2 मार्कांनी गेला होता. फक्त 2 मार्कांनी त्याचा इंटरव्ह्यूचा कॉल गेला पहिल्या अटेम्प्टमध्ये. 2 मार्कांनी इंटरव्ह्यूचा कॉल गेला आणि त्याला एसे मध्ये मार्क्स पडले होते फक्त 60 मार्क्स पडले होते एसे मध्ये. 60. जस्ट इमॅजिन की 2 मार्काने इंटरव्ह्यूचा कॉल जातोय आणि एस मध्ये 60 मार्क्स जर त्याला इथेच जर +70 असते, +70 म्हणजे 130 मार्क्स जर एस मध्ये असते मिनिमम 130, तर तो त्याच अटेम्प्टमध्ये मे बी IAS झाला असता. सगळं केलं, GS केले, ऑप्शनल केला चांगल्या पद्धतीनं, बट ही कुड नॉट गिव्ह जस्टिस टू एस अँड ही गॉट मार्क्स अकॉर्डिंगली 60 मार्क्स भेटले. तर त्या वर्षी त्याचं जे सिलेक्शन हुकलं त्यावर्षी ओनली बिकॉज ऑफ हिज एसे, जे सिलेक्शन हुकलं त्यानंतर त्याला 3 अटेम्प्ट अजून त्याला वेट पाहावं लागला. आज तो IPS आहे, IPS म्हणून काम करतोय, बट ही हॅड टू वेट फॉर 3 मोर अटेम्प्ट्स ओनली बिकॉज ऑफ दिस एसे. तर एसेला अंडरस्टँड करा की खूप महत्त्वाचा विषय असणार आहे तुमच्या सिलेक्शनमध्ये, तुमच्या UPSCच्या जर्नीमध्ये. ऑल राईट, येस. एसे बद्दल काही बेसिक आयडिया आहे कोणाला? काय अंडरस्टँड करतो आपण एसे पेपर बद्दल? 250 मार्काचा किती एसे लिहायचे आपल्याला 250 मध्ये? करेक्ट. आपल्याला दोन सेक्शन्स असणार आहेत त्याच्यामध्ये, बरोबर? ठीक आहे. आपल्याला 2 सेक्शन असतात. सेक्शन A, it will have 4 topics, and there will be section B, again it will have 4 topics. All right, so out of these 4 you will have to write one essay, and out of these 4 topics you will have to write one essay. This is the paper structure of essay paper. All right, and in how many words you need to write this essay? One essay 1000 to 1200 words, right? 1000 to 1200 words. All right, so there will be 2 essays that you will write in actual examination. आता एसे कडे बघितल्यानंतर what do you think ki what sort of topics are asked? Have you seen UPSC paper? Yes, how many people have seen it? Yes beta. Nowadays there are philosophical essays. Very good. Yes, anything else? Yes, no idea. All right, it's not going to matter, but see, as you are starting your preparation, you're in the initial stage, you should look into the previous year questions. All right, it should be your daily activity and you should have an idea what kind of questions are being asked and how to answer those questions. So with respect to essay, if you go through the both sections, section A as well as section B, you will find mostly philosophical essays. All right, mostly philosophical essays. Last year in 2022 UPSC had asked philosophical essays, and that too purely philosophical in both sections, section A as well as in section B. However, last year in section B, there are some essays from general studies. They look like a philosophical essay, but they are not purely philosophical. If you read the section B, first question, point number 5, girls are weighed down by restriction, boys with demands, two equally harmful disciplines. So basically this question, though it sounds like a quotation, it is a quotation, but if you look a little bit deeper into this topic, girls are weighed down by restrictions. What does it mean? Girls are weighed down by restrictions. What does it mean? Are you getting the topic? Okay, correct. Next. Okay, correct. Two equally harmful disciplines. Now see, when you will come across such kind of long statements, you don't need to worry. All right, you should not get frightened only because of the long statements. All right, we will develop some skills of understanding these kind of topics. All right, and how to interpret. We will take separate sessions on interpretation of the topic. All right, so at this point of time you don't need to worry about this. It's just an introduction section. All right. So girls are weighed down by restrictions. So what does it mean? Yes, beta. Correct. So basically there are n number of restrictions placed on girls. All right. And that burden, under that burden, girls are weighed down. Girls are weighed down. That means they are being disabled. They are being disabled. Now this is context of society. All right. It's a social context. So because of the restrictions, girls are disabled in the society. What kind of restrictions are placed on girls? What kind of restrictions? Correct. Girls are not permitted to move freely like the boys, isn't it? Boys can go out in the night. रात्री 2 वाजता वाटलं चला चहा प्यायला निघाले लगेच जाऊ शकतो ना आपण. येस, पण गर्ल्सला रिस्ट्रिक्शन आहेत. अगेन सेकंड रिस्ट्रिक्शन, फक्त मॉडर्न ज्या गर्ल्स आहेत पुण्यातल्या मुंबईतल्या, फक्त त्यांच्या बाबतीत नका विचार करू. सगळीकडच्या जे खेड्यापाड्यातल्या ज्या मुली आहेत त्यांचा सगळ्यांचा आपल्याला विचार करायचा आहे. ठीक आहे. आपली इंडियन सोसायटी म्हणजे थ्रू आउट इंडिया, नॉट ओनली बट पुणे, मुंबई और दिल्ली, एव्हरीवेअर, including tribal society, including rural society. Correct. Girls are weighed down because of marriage. They get married early in the in their life. Yes. Education is denied to most of the girls. They can't go for higher studies. Whatever education is available in their villages, that is made available to them, but if they want to pursue their higher education, well, in most of the cases they are denied. Yes. Restrictions on access to religious places, like, yes, correct, there is discrimination in jobs as well. Some gender based discrimination is always seen when you apply for jobs, sometimes, not always. Yes. Child Childbirth, that means, okay, they are forced to bear childs. Okay, yes, correct. Even in earlier ages. Yes. All right, now boys with demands. Boys are weighed down with demands. What kind of demands are placed on boys? Taking care of family. All right, this is one demand. Then boys should get good education. Correct. Boys must earn. This is a demand of the society. If the boy is not earning, then he is not respected in the society, isn't it? You might have seen some people around you who are not earning, or your some seniors or some who are preparing for UPSC for 4 or 5 years, maybe 6 years. They are not earning, so they are not respected in the society. This is some case study from our field only. Yes. Then what kind of demands are placed on boys? Correct, correct. Then yes, beta, responsibility, right? Responsibility of the family, correct? Responsibility of the parents. Boy has to take care of the parents. That is the responsibility. He has to manage his career as well as the family welfare. All right. So these two things are equally harmful. So this is what this essay is talking about. So these points, whatever we are discussing, that these kind of points you will learn, these social aspects you will learn in which paper? Society in General Studies paper 1. General Studies paper 1, you will learn this kind of social aspects. All right. Now see, question number 7. A society that has more justice is a society that needs less charity. A society that has more justice is a society that needs less charity. Again, it is it is like a quotation. It is like a quotation, but this topic again can be written based on the content from society. All right. Next is education is what remains after one has forgotten what one has learned in school. Again, this education topic is that you will study in general studies 1 under the section of society. You will also study this in polity, general studies paper number 2. All right, even in GS 3 and even in general studies 4 ethics paper. All right, so you will learn this topic education in ethics as well, value education or ethical education. All right, under that heading you will learn this. AC बंद है का? All right. तर आपण let's see UPSC's focus areas. What are the focus areas of UPSC from where UPSC generally asks questions? Yes, first one is philosophical essays. Quotations. Quotations based topics. So there will be some essays where particularly one section A has been dedicated for this philosophical essays. Every year since last 7-8 years UPSC has dedicated section A for philosophical topics. All right, so some random philosophical topics are asked. So random philosophical topics are asked and then you are asked to write essay on that particular topic. Like for example, they can give quotations of any great personalities like Mahatma Gandhi, Albert Einstein, Abraham Lincoln, any renowned personality. All right, so such kind of quotations are generally asked, and in section A, general quotations are there. General quotes, especially related to life. Life lessons, inspiration, etc. So if you Google, okay, if you Google like inspirational quotes, then you will get many n number of quotes on Google. So just for brainstorming purpose and just to let you know, I'm just telling this thing. If you Google these keywords like quotes on life or quotes on inspirational quotes or quotes on life lessons, you will get a number of essays. All right, so many times UPSC picks essays from these areas. All right, and especially in section A, especially in section A. So how to interpret these topics and how to write essay on these topics, that we will discuss during our comprehensive sessions. All right. See, last year UPSC had asked, thinking is like a game. It does not begin unless there is an opposite team. Thinking is like a game. It does not begin unless there is an opposite team. Second essay is visionary decision making happens at the intersection of intuition and logic. Visionary decision making happens at the intersection of intuition and logic. Third one, not all who wander are lost. Not all who wander are lost. And fourth one, inspiration for creativity springs from the effort to look for the magical in the mundane. All right. So these topics appears a little bit difficult. All right. These topics appears a little bit difficult, and uh, if you ask any seniors, all right, anybody who is preparing since last 2 3 4 years or who has written mains, so generally people face difficulties in this particular section, philosophical essays. All right, so writing essay on general studies topics is considered, or it appears relatively easy compared to the philosophical essays. All right, but once we understand the topic, then it will become easy. All right, so we will do rigorous practice of understanding the topic as well as generating points on that topic. So through rigorous practice, through rigorous sessions, and through rigorous skill training, this philosophical essays will look easier. All right, and you don't need to consider these topics or philosophical essays to be difficult one. These are easy one. All right, so the only thing that matters here, or only difficult thing here, is understanding the topic. That is the only thing. Yes, beta. Very good question. So see, there can be alternate interpretations. There can be, I'm saying can be, not always. All right, but that interpretation should always be in tune with the given topic. All right, so if you are going far beyond the interpretation, then that will not do the needful work, or that will not be considered correct. So if you are staying with the topic, all right, but having some different interpretation, like you are generating some different points, that will be perfectly fine. Now see, not all who wander are lost. Let's take example. Not all who wander are lost. Now what will be the interpretation of this topic? Not all who wander are lost. Not all who wander are lost. Does it seem little bit tricky? Yes. Okay. 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 All right. Yes. Anybody else? Not everybody who seeks for food is hungry. This is an alternate quotation. Okay. Good try. You should at least try. All right. So develop this thinking. Critical thinking is extremely important for UPSC. All right. So you should think and you should speak. Yes. Anybody else? What can be the interpretation? Now let's. Yes. Is someone going to talk? Yes, beta. Okay. All right. Now let's do one thing. Now let's break this statement, or this quotation, into small parts. All right. To make it understandable. Now not all. Now let's remove this. Not let's remove this. Now all who wander are lost. Now understand, all who wander are lost. Now tell me the meaning. Remove this not, just tell me the meaning of this part. All who wander are lost. Yes. All who wander are lost. What is wandering? रोमिंग फ्रीली, भटकणे, भटकंती, बरोबर. आता या कॉन्टेक्स्ट मध्ये व्हेन वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट यूपीएससी मेन्स, then this wandering that you have to this wandering needs to be considered, this wandering needs to be considered with respect to the aspects of life, aspects of our academic disciplines like polity or political wandering. Can anybody tell me what is political wandering? Political भटकंती कशाला म्हणू शकतो आपण? In search of attaining power. All right, any example of political wandering? Yes, prachar. That wandering is, see, wandering is not something which is pre-planned. All right, wandering is not something which is pre-planned. Planned activities are not wandering. फ्रीली रोमिंग और भटकंती त्याला काय म्हणतो आपण? आपल्या मनात काहीच नाही, प्लॅन काहीच नाही, जिकडे निघाले तिकडे निघाले, कटी पतंग जैसा, एक बार इधर एक बार उधर, समझ रहे हो? एक बार इधर. Okay, good example. That can be say one political bhatkanti. They some now Maharashtra's political parties break up into political parties, isn't it? NCP and BJP. Sorry, Shiv Sena. So they tried something else. So they wandered, and one could get some seats in Lok Sabha elections, but one could not get good result, isn't it? So we can say, आता याला अंडरस्टँड करा. ऑल हू वंडर आर लॉस्ट, हे जे स्टेटमेंट आहे, ऑल हू वंडर आर लॉस्ट म्हणजे काय? जे भटकंती करतात ते लॉस्ट होतात, त्यांना सक्सेस भेटत नाही, फेल ठरतात. असे एक्झाम्पल्स आहेत ज्यांनी भटकंती केली आणि ते फेल ठरले, ज्यांनी भटकंती केली आणि फेल ठरले, असे एक्झाम्पल्स आहेत आपल्या जीवनामध्ये. कुठेही पॉलिटिक्समध्ये असेल, दुसरा ऍस्पेक्ट असतो आपला सोसायटीचा, सोशल ऍस्पेक्ट. तिसरा असतो इकॉनॉमीचा, इकॉनॉमिक ऍस्पेक्ट असतो. येस. चौथा ऍस्पेक्ट असतो एन्व्हायरमेंटचा. पाचवा ऍस्पेक्ट असतो आपला इथिक्सचा. सो दीज आर सम ऍस्पेक्ट्स ऑफ आवर syllabus. All right, aspects of the disciplines that you are going to study. This is the picture of our life. Our life revolves around all these subjects, all these spheres. ठीक आहे. आपलं when you are writing your essay or any GS paper, you will have to bring this multi-dimensionality in your answers. All right, so this multi-dimensional holistic views shall be put in your answer. All right, are you getting my point? So now wandering, काय असते वॉन्डरिंग पॉलिटिकल स्पिअर मध्ये? एक एक्झाम्पल सांगतो की वेन इंडिया वॉज अंडर द ब्रिटिश एम्पायर, ऑल राईट, देर वॉज दिस इस्टॅब्लिशमेंट ऑफ इंडियन नॅशनल काँग्रेस इन द इयर ऑफ 1885, करेक्ट. त्याच्यानंतर आपलं इंडिपेंडन्स कधी भेटलं? 1947 मध्ये. काही माहिती होतं त्यावेळेस आपलं इंडिपेंडन्स कधी भेटणार आहे? काही प्लॅनिंग होती त्याच्याबद्दल त्यांची, INCची. इट इज अ पॉलिटिकल वॉन्डरिंग, इट इज अ पॉलिटिकल वॉन्डरिंग. ठीक आहे, करेक्ट. वास्को द गामाचं एक्झाम्पल घेऊ शकतो. ही डिड दिस, वास्को द गामा. नो नो no no no, he was in search of India only. Columbus was in the search of India, but he went to America, isn't it? That's why it's called East Indies, West Indies, sorry. He came in the search of East India. Yes, again wanderers. बिझनेस मध्ये कोणते वॉन्डरर्स सापडू शकतात आपल्याला? जे एंटरप्रेन्योर्स आहेत, जे फेल झालेत. ऑल हू वंडर आर लॉस्ट. बिझनेस मध्ये खूप सारे बिझनेसेस. विजय माल्या, ओके, येस. पेटीएम रिसेंट एग्जाम्पल, करेक्ट, येस. बायजूस, करेक्ट, बायजूस. He tried something new, digital education, isn't it? He went for it. He brought crores of rupees as an investment, but now what is the result? It is in great loss, isn't it? Byju's. So this is something we will call it economic wandering. And there is not this only one case study of Byju's. There are n number of case studies where big investments were made and these businesses were not able to make it happen. He wanted to be a pilot. Yes, we can quote this example, but as a by including this topic, by including this not all who wander are lost. So APJ Abdul Kalam went for wandering to become a pilot, but he ended up like a scientist, one of the most successful scientists in the world. Correct? So though he wandered, but he did not lose. He succeeded, isn't it? आपण तसं एक्झाम्पल घेणार म्हणजे या स्टेटमेंटचा अर्थ कळतो का आपल्याला ऑल हू वंडर आर लॉस्ट हे एक स्टेटमेंट आहे बरोबर आणि त्याचं निगेशन म्हणजे नॉट ऑल हू वंडर आर लॉस्ट म्हणजे आता याचं जर सिंपल मध्ये बघायचं झालं आता तुम्हाला मे बी समजणार नाही एक्झॅक्टली ठीक आहे काही लोकांना समजेल काही लोकांना समजणार नाही बट डोंट वरी आपण याच्यावरती रिगरस सेशन घेणार आहे डिटेलमध्ये त्यावेळेस तुम्हाला समजेल व्यवस्थित ठीक आहे तर म्हणजे काय एक बाजू त्याच्यामध्ये अशी येणार आहे की इफ यू वंडर यू आर लॉस्ट ही एक बाजू येणार याच्यामध्ये आणि दुसरी बाजू येणार आहे इफ यू वंडर यू आर नॉट लॉस्ट म्हणजेच काय यू सक्सीड हे असं इंटरप्रिटेशन आहे मग आपण काय करतो अशा एसे मध्ये आपण आपल्या लाईफला कनेक्ट करतो आणि पॉइंट ब्रेन स्टॉर्मिंग करून वी जनरेट पॉइंट्स फॉर एसे रायटिंग the way we generated 4-5 points. All right, some points came from you only, right? Byju's, Paytm, isn't it? तर आपल्याला असं करायचं की टॉपिकचं एकदा इंटरप्रिटेशन समजलं की टॉपिकवरती पॉईंट आपले जनरेट करू शकतो ठीक आहे ब्रेकिंग करायचं असतं टॉपिकला दिलेल्या टॉपिकला छोट्या छोट्या पार्टमध्ये आणि त्याचा एक कलेक्टिव्ह मिनिंग घ्यायचा असतो ठीक आहे आपण एक 2 ते 3 सेशन असतात आपल्या याच्यावरती तर असे फिलॉसॉफिकल टॉपिक्स आहेत काही घाबरायचं नाही याच्यामध्ये आणि फिलॉसॉफिकल टॉपिक्समध्ये आपण छान पद्धतीनं लिहिलं की आपल्याला चांगले मार्क्स येतात ठीक आहे ऑल राईट नेक्स्ट आहे सेकंड मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टंट एरिया इज सोसायटी ठीक आहे one of the most important area popular topics that are asked year on year so we can list out some topics all right so women is one of the most popular topic in UPSC essays all right then education health then full of technology in social development these are some popular topics if you go through the previous year questions of last 10 years or 15 years you will find repetition of these themes repetition of these topics all right women every year or maybe every alternate year UPSC asks question on women so we have to be very much careful about these topics you have to prepare everything all right that is required for writing a good essay All right, everything should be prepared. What is everything, that we will discuss in detail during our comprehensive sessions. All right, so what sort of introductions are needed, what sort of conclusions are needed, and how to write argumentative points. All right, and then these argumentative points should be multi-dimensional. All right, it should touch multiple disciplines or multiple aspects of life, like society, culture, religion, polity, economy, environment. All right, so these multiple aspects or multi-dimensionality should be there in your answer. All right, so how to prepare that, and moreover you need to write and you need to substantiate your arguments with proper data. So when you're writing some points on education, let's say that there is this Indian education system is facing with some difficulties, all right, or is not up to the mark. What we need to give some data, all right. So there will be some reports you will come across in your current affairs, like which report is much popular with respect to education? Is anybody aware of it? Okay, okay, correct. NFHS survey, National Family Health Survey. Yes, ASER report is there. ASER report. All right. So you will read about ASER report during your preparation of current affairs. Apart from that, you will also be required to write some examples to substantiate your points. So if you are talking about education, what sort of current examples can be written here? New education policy, that is government policy. All right. Example means real world examples with respect to the education sector. It's anything is in news? Yes. That is an argument. Example, real world example. AI, artificial intelligence. Okay. Like I'm talking about degradation of quality or degradation of or some issues in Indian education system. Yes, you are very close. Need scam. Need scam is frequently seen in news, isn't it? So it is with respect to education. So paper leakage. All right. So this paper leak and NTA scam. So such kind of examples you have to pick from the newspaper. That you will have to write in essay paper. You need to write these examples in other GS as well, but essay will be much more concerned with such kind of examples. All right. So we will discuss this thing during our comprehensive sessions, but you should have an idea about these examples. All right. Then if we are talking about, let's say, urbanization in society, this is social topic. Let's say urbanization. Is everybody aware about urbanization? You might not have read about urbanization. All right. But if there is this topic of urbanization, नागरीकरण त्याला म्हणतो आपण मराठीमध्ये, if there is this essay on urbanization, is there any example which is in news recently? That may be positive, that may be negative example. That is happening everywhere. Urbanization in Pune is completely unplanned, almost unplanned. It is growing like anything in any direction. Yes. Because of this unplanned organization and unplanned growth of urban centers, there have been many issues arising like congestion, traffic, pollution, isn't it? So, can is there any example which is frequently seen in news? Which was in news? Yes. Urban flooding. All right. Yes. Anything else? That is also correct. Urban flooding. Correct. Yes. Yes. Water crisis is an argument. It is an issue, water crisis. But this water crisis is seen in which city? Bangalore. This is an example. Correct? Yes. Water crisis in Bangalore is an example. Very good. Yes. Job problems. All right. Accident is an argument. Is a point. Its example will be correct. Pune Porsche accident case, isn't it? So frequent or accidents happening in due to congestion in urban centers. This is a point, and to substantiate this point, you can write the example of Pune Porsche case, right? So these such kind of examples, where you will learn these examples from newspapers. All right. So I'm just giving an overall idea. All right. So note these things in your mind. You can note it in in your notebook as well. That you will be required to write some data. You will be required to write some examples. So whenever you find some examples, all right, through newspapers, just note it down. Just one line or two line. You don't need to write a complete paragraph on it. Just one line or two line. What was this Pune Porsche accident case? Two people were killed by a minor. All right, this much content only. No need to write more than this. Increased crime. Okay, all right. Increased crime. This is an argument. An example of this increased crime will be Delhi. Delhi. Women are unsafe in Delhi. This is an argument. Its example will be high crime rates in Delhi. That will be the data. All right. So National Crime Control Bureau. So you will read such data. You will get such data from newspapers. All right. You are understanding what I'm saying? All right. So when you will be preparing your general studies, do focus on ancient India as well. All right, because from ancient India, we can pick the examples. The way we picked from current affairs, we can pick examples from ancient as well as from ancient, medieval, and modern India. All right. So this historical aspect, you will be get a thorough understanding. All right. Then what happened with the great emperor Ashoka, Samrat Ashok, right? Why he adopted Dhamma policy, all right? Who was Kautilya? Get an idea, all right? Read a little bit on these personalities so that you will be able to write, you will be able to generate content for your essay. All right, so this will be nowhere, you will not be you will not get time to read separately for these topics. All right, nowhere you will be reading these topics. So when you're reading this ancient India, reading medieval India, just read thoroughly. All right, so you will develop good content on ancient and medieval. You will be, anyway you will be reading for your prelims as well as for mains, isn't it? So do it properly so that you will be able to use those content in your essays. All right. All right, so let's see next topic. Science and technology. Again, this is one of the important focus area. I am writing these focus areas according to their priority. All right, according to their frequency in the exam. All right, so this science and technology, there have been many essays, many times there have been topics asked from this particular area. Is any particular topic? Nanotechnology. All right, yes. AI, correct. AI has been asked multiple times in recent last 7 8 years. All right, artificial intelligence. So first thing, you must have general idea of of benefits, or you can say applications and challenges associated, all right. So those applications which are applicable, or which are of a particular technology, like let's say nanotechnology. So in most of the cases, those applications will also be applicable for other technologies like biotechnology. All right. So we are talking of, we are not with respect to essay, we are not talking about particular applications of that particular technology, but overall applications of that technology. Like for example, development in biotechnology, will bring employment opportunities, right? Similarly, development in nanotechnology will also bring the employment opportunities, isn't it? Development in biotechnology will help our health sector, right? Similarly, development in nanotechnology will also help our health sector, right? So there will be such major level applications which are applicable or which are exactly relatable to most of the technologies. All right. So there have been many essays, like for example, once UPSC had asked, science and technology is a panacea for is a panacea for economic growth and security. Economic growth and security. All right. Science and technology is a panacea for economic growth and security. So this was one. This topic was once asked by UPSC. It is a PYQ. So now this is an overall topic about science and technology. Now in this topic you will be writing on all the technological developments that you can write. Like for example, nanotechnology, biotechnology, artificial intelligence, and machine learning, as well as you will also write on nuclear technology, defense technology, space technology. All right. So these science and technology shall be connected with economic growth. Now all these technological development is always directed towards economic upliftment. All right. Even the developments in healthcare, again there is this economic angle, isn't it? There is this pharmaceutical companies, they are engaged in developing vaccines and multiple drugs, isn't it? And security, what is the security? Defense, okay. Cyber security, okay. This security means सुरक्षा. सुरक्षा म्हणजे we are securing ourselves from any sort of threat. Any sort of threat, we are protecting ourselves or securing ourselves. That is security. It's a general term. All right. So like there are many threats to us. Yes. What sort of threats we are facing in Pune? There are some threats. Cyber crime, correct. Everybody is now vulnerable to cyber crime, isn't it? If where you are living, where you are staying, it doesn't matter. Everybody is prone to cyber attacks. Yes. Okay. Yes. These are some real time. Okay. All right. Yes. Some other threats that we are vulnerable in Pune. Chain snatching. Okay. Yes. Such normal जो crimes are normal crimes. Again, we are vulnerable to such crimes. Yes. Yes. Very good. Viral infection. It is also a threat to our security, isn't it? Many people died during COVID, right? कोविड आहे ना लक्षात की विसरला सगळ्यांचा? लक्षात आहे ना? Viral infection, or you can say pandemic, epidemic or pandemic. Yes. Health security. Next. Yes. Sanitation. All right. Correct. Apart from that, forget Pune. Now, India as a society, what threats we do face? Terrorism, excellent. Then terrorism, next. Naxalism also there. Then separatism, we can see separatism in Jammu and Kashmir, Northeast India, right? Regionalism, excellent. Regionalism is also a threat to India's internal security. Yes, correct. All right, so we have to connect this science and technology with economic growth, how this science and technology will lead to economic growth, and how this science and technology will lead to security. Now, how this science and technology is related to security? Yes. With respect to terrorism, how science and technology can be used against terrorism? Exactly, very good. We can track the movement of terrorists even through snooping or maybe phone tapping. We can discover, yes, by for surveillance purpose we can use the drones. All right, particularly for Naxal affected region or for border patrolling. Through border we have many security threats like drug trafficking, human trafficking, counterfeit currency trafficking. All right, so these kind of threats can be dealt with science and technology. So drones can be installed. Even we can install some smart fencing on border areas. All right. Yes, with respect to economic growth, how this science and technology is relatable to economic growth? Through the development of science and technology, how this economic growth is generated? Is there any example? Digitalization of banking system. All right. Then what is going to, how it is going to empower or encourage the economic growth? Is there any example of through the scientific innovation or technological development there have we have seen a greater economic growth? Is there any example? Yes. Chandrayaan, okay, all right, but not that much significant. Yes, any other example? Industrialization, correct. Any particular example? Your point is correct. UPI, all right, correct. Now this UPI, very good example. Through UPI, what has happened? Through UPI, nowadays many are using this mobile for financial transactions, isn't it? So there is this degradation of black money. All right, so everybody has come under the taxation. This is one benefit. Second, financial literacy and financial inclusion has also increased, which is a driving factor for investment, investments in industries and anywhere. All right, yes, international trade. Okay, in infrastructure development, correct. It is a technology. Infrastructure development is a technology, correct. Yes. Okay, very good. That can be relatable with security as well. That is good example of security as well. Yes, Microsoft, Microsoft Windows, Microsoft Corporation. It is a technological development. Even Apple, it is a technological development. Instagram, Facebook, technological. Google, technological development. Now this Google is driving economies now, isn't it? There is this huge. Even we can relate with our Indian cases like Infosys. It's a technology based organization, technology based company, and there are more than I think 1.5 lakhs people are working in Infosys, isn't it? So this is a driving force. A huge GDP is generated for Indian economy, as well as we are getting lakhs of employment opportunities directly and indirectly, isn't it? Is this relatable? So this is how you will be interpreting the topic, and you will be generating points, examples, data, and you will be writing it. All right, so this is it. It's just this we are discussing is it's as an this introductory at an introductory level. All right, so how to write this at with an organized way, all right, in a structured manner, that we will discuss in our comprehensive lectures. All right, topics from science and technology. Overall S&T. All right, overall S&T. I just discussed one example of S&T. There was another topic in recent years. Technology, a silent factor in international relations. This was another topic asked by UPSC. Technology, a silent factor in international relations. So what does it mean? Technology, a silent factor in international relations. So does technology play any role in international engagements, international relations? Does it play any role? Yes. Excellent. UPI is accepted by various countries now, right? Like UAE and many other countries are now asking India to help with respect to UPI. Very good example. Yes. Any other example? Huh? Starlink program. Okay. Okay. Any other example where this technology is driving international relations? Correct. Correct. Social media. Now this social media has been developed by companies who are mostly based in US, isn't it? But nowadays this technology, there are Modi ji are being followed by many other uh, international leaders or the respective presidents and prime minister of other countries, isn't it? So this social media is facilitating international relations, international engagements, isn't it? All right. So overall essence, there can be a topic on overall science and technology, in which overall that means you will be required to connect all the technological disciplines or technological spheres. Like I discussed, this one is ICT. Social media comes from the section of ICT, information and communication technology, isn't it? Then you will have to connect with space technology. Can we connect with space? Yes, India is sending satellites of other countries. Yes, our ISRO is much developed with respect to space sector. All right, then ICT we have seen, space technology we have seen. What about defense sector? BrahMos, excellent. BrahMos, it's a joint initiative of India and Russia. Yes, Rafale, correct. राफेल राफेल कौन सी कंट्री का है? फ्रांस, करेक्ट. Defense. So next topic is ICT, information and communication technology. Information and communication technology. Let's write separately artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence. And last one, biotechnology. Fourth one, all right. Any doubt? No? Next is polity, or you can say administration as well. Administration or governance. So topics are federalism, local government, democracy, what is federalism? Yes, what is federalism? Any idea? Yes, beta. Government has different hierarchies. Okay, very good. There is this devolution of power, division of power, center and states. One government is at the central level and another government or another governments are at the regional level. So this is this power distribution. This power distribution or power division is nothing but federalism. Do we have federalism in India? Yes, we do have. So in this federalism, there may be topics like cooperative federalism. All right. Then even competitive federalism. Cooperative, competitive. Cooperative means excellent. And what will be competitive? Correct. Topics in concurrent list. Okay. So that will come under cooperative federalism or competitive federalism. Competitive. Okay. What is competitive federalism? Competitive federalism means there is this competition between center and states, or between states. There is this competition going on between center and states or between different states. Can we see any example of competition between center and state? Kerala and center, like in particular which context? Okay, all right. In distribution of financial matters, all right. Yes. Anything else? Maharashtra, yes. There have been disputes between Maharashtra and Karnataka, right? Yes. Interwater disputes, again, this will come under the competitive federalism. Very good. Interstate water disputes. आपल्या महाराष्ट्रामध्ये आणि गुजरातमध्ये पॉलिटिकल इश्यू होतो. या इंडस्ट्रीज तिकडे गेल्या, गुजरातमध्ये गेल्या, ऐकले का? गुजरातमधून इकडे आल्या, इकडून तिकडे गेल्या. दिस इज अ कॉम्पिटेटिव्ह फेडरलिझम बिटवीन स्टेट्स विथ रिस्पेक्ट टू द इकॉनॉमिक डेव्हलपमेंट. बरोबर. आपले पॉलिटिशियन्स आपण बघतो की ते म्हणतात गुजरात एवढं पुढे गेलंय, गुजरात एवढं पुढे गेलंय, बरोबर. किंवा अजून दुसरे कुठल्या स्टेट्स बद्दल आपण कम्पेअर करतो. इट इज नथिंग बट कॉम्पिटेटिव्ह फेडरलिझम. ऑल राईट. So sometimes there is this tussle between center and states. All right, so this is seen as the competitive federalism. Some more topics: corruption, elections, all right. Now let's move to next area. That area is economy. So some topics from economy like economic growth, inclusive growth, at this point of time you will not be aware of many terms, many topics. You won't be having any content. All right, so just note it down. GDP, then financial inclusion, the sixth area is of security. So in security, especially cyber security is of much importance. Then there may be question on Naxalism, terrorism, bracket extremism. All right, so all these instances are of extremism only. Extremism will cover all the extreme form of violence like Naxalism, terrorism, separatism, insurgency. Everything will be covered under extremism. You will learn this topic in which paper? Yes, internal security in GS paper number 3, correct? ठीक है, next. Environment, so sustainable development, climate change, biodiversity conservation, what is this climate change? What is this climate change? Change in the long-term change in the weather pattern. Yes, especially global warming. All right, and the issues or weather patterns arising out of this global warming. Sustainable development, okay, development which will not compromise the future, which will not compromise the needs of future generations. All right, that means whatever we are doing today, it should not have long term repercussions or long-term implications for the future generations. Like for instance, we should not do much pollution, isn't it? We should not do much deforestation. Deforestation should be on the sustainable basis. So if you are cutting trees at one place, you should plant some trees some other place. That is what this sustainable development means. All right, development having the balance between environmental conservation as well as the economic development. So that development we will call it as sustainable development. You will learn this topic in under environment section. You will learn in detail for prelims as well as for mains. Next is international relations. So this is just overall topic at a much broader level. Question will be asked. Oh, all right. So there will not be question in essay on particular bilateral relations like India Pakistan or India China. So such kind of essay you will not see in essay paper. But overall India's international relations or overall what is this international relations between different countries. So like the way we discuss this topic, role of technology, the technology as a silent factor in international relations. So such kind of topics will be there. All right. So topic at much broader level will be asked. Next is ethics. Especially value education. It has been one of the favorite area of UPSC. Many multiple times UPSC has asked question from this area, value education. Last is history. Topic again will be at a broader level. So overall history, UPSC will not ask topic at micro level. Any particular instances of history, like write an essay about Akbar's policy. Such kind of essays will not be asked. Or what kind of administration was present during Mughal era or during medieval India. So such kind of topics will not be asked. So overall aspect of history will be taken into account, and then topic will be framed on based on it. And last one, and this last one is, how many topics we have seen? 10, 11 combined. Two or three areas may be combined together this area is most frequently seen. All right. So generally UPSC combines 2 or 3 topics together, and then a particular question is asked. Yes. For example, we have seen technology, a silent factor in international relations. So this technology is combined with international relations. These two topics are combined together. All right. Next one. Let's say example. Crisis in India. Moral or economic. Crisis in India, moral or economic. Now these two topics, economic as well as morality has been combined in this particular essay. Crisis in India, moral or economic question mark. Moral or economic question mark. Previous example, science and technology, a panacea for economic growth and tech and security. Three subjects are covered: science and technology, along with economy, as well as along with technology. Isn't it? All right. So now let's understand what has been given by UPSC in its notification. What UPSC puts in its notification. You can note it down. Candidates are expected. You can write title as UPSC notification. Or essay. Candidates are expected to keep closely to the subject, to keep closely to the subject of the essay to arrange their ideas, to arrange their ideas, to arrange their ideas in an orderly fashion, in an orderly fashion, and to write concisely, and to write concisely. Credit will be given for effective and exact expression. Credit will be given for exact and effective expression. So there are some points which UPSC is clearly demanding from you. All right, so these are some clear points which has been placed in its notification. First point is candidates are expected to keep closely to the subject. Keep closely to the subject. Now, what is this closeness? What is this closeness? To the point. All right. Let's understand through an example. Now see, this is the topic. Poverty is the worst form of violence. keeping closely to the subject of the essay. All right, candidates are expected to keep closely to the subject. Now yes, tell me what will be the closeness to this particular topic. We should not divert from poverty. All right, so what shall we write in this essay? What could be the content of this essay? Causes of poverty, correct. Causes of poverty, yes. Solutions of poverty, solutions of poverty, all right. Effects of poverty, correct. Poverty, yes. Or impact of poverty, yes. Yes, anything else? Statistics of poverty, all right. Yes, anything else? Yeah, yes, we can expand it. Social implications, political implications, environmental implications of poverty. Yes, correct. So this is keeping closely to the subject. All right. So if we write this kind of content for this kind of topic, we will not get marks. This is wrong interpretation. This is completely wrong interpretation. Why I am saying this thing? Now read this topic again. What has been given in the topic? Read it carefully. Yes. This is the general mistake done by students. All right. This is a general mistake. This is the general mistake done by the students. This general mistake we should not do. That's why we are giving this example. We are understanding what is keeping closely to the subject. Okay. 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 Poverty leads to violence. Very good. Yes. Comparing poverty with violence. Okay. Yes. What could be considering it to be a worst form of violence? Okay. Yes. Anything else? Various aspects we can apply on. Yes, we can do, but before that we need to understand the topic. All right, once we understand the topic, then we will apply the different aspects. Yes, different forms of violence. Different forms of violence. Yes, what's your name, beta? Rushikesh. Very good, Rushikesh. Now you have told the correct interpretation. So this is the correct interpretation. Comparing poverty with violence and proving that it is the worst form of violence. All right. Poverty. Now let's understand this topic. Poverty. This is one keyword. Poverty is the worst form. Poverty is the worst form. It means this topic, this statement is talking about poverty. It is describing. All right. This is an adjective. Worst. Poverty is, what is poverty or how poverty is? It is the worst form of what? violence. It is the worst form of violence. It is the violence, but it is the worst form of violence. That means you will have to showcase what violence does. It is done by the poverty as well, but that too in a worst manner. That too in the worst manner. That's why we are saying it is a form of violence, but it is the worst form of violence. That means what does violence does? Violence kills people. Violence kills people. So does poverty kill people? Yes or no? Yes. There are thousands of deaths every day happening only because of malnutrition, undernourishment, poverty, isn't it? Have you heard about Bengal famine 1943? Bengal famine, millions of people died because of starvation. Millions of people died only because of starvation, Bengal famine, only because of poverty, isn't it? Violence, what does violence takes? It, huh? Violence leads to destruction. Violence leads to destruction. Does poverty leads to destruction? Yes, yes. Many criminals are born out of poverty, isn't it? They face, and we are not talking about only one sort of poverty. As you said, beta, we have to apply the holistic view, not only economic poverty, but you will have to relate it with social poverty as well. What is social poverty? Caste discrimination. Excellent. This is social poverty, caste discrimination. What will be political poverty? Yes. Less representation, very good. Political deprivation or denying of equal political rights, that will be political poverty. Can we see political poverty in India? Can we see political poverty? Yes. If you want to contest Lok Sabha election, can you contest? No. First you will have to have a good amount of money, isn't it? A good social reputation, then you will be able to contest. Just filling the nomination form is not going to empower you thoroughly, right? So this is some kind of political deprivation. And if you take example of China, complete political deprivation. China, communist country, no political rights at all. So this is political poverty. What will be environmental poverty? Environmental poverty, what will be environmental poverty? Global warming, all right. Yes, bilkul, that we can definitely say. With respect to women, if and when women are denied of their basic human rights, if and when women are discriminated in the society, yes, there is this social poverty, all right, along with economic poverty. We all are aware of economic poverty, all right. Anna vastra nivara nahi hai, economic poverty, all right. Yes. Is the focal point of uh, no, you will have to only keep closely. That means you will have to talk only on this topic, how this poverty is related to violence, how it is the form of violence. That means what violence does, you will have to showcase it in your essay, all right. You will have to showcase it in your essay. So this is keeping closely with the topic. But what generally students do, they write about the causes of poverty, they write about the implications of poverty, they write about the effects of poverty, they write about the statistics, or you can say how this is another very popular misinterpretation. This is another very popular misinterpretation, how poverty leads to violence. Because of poverty, violence is generated. This is the well known fact, well known thought, or well known, well established, proven thing that you will come across during your preparation as well. All right. So our mind psychologically thinks in that manner, all right. So what we think or what we know, instead of that thing, you need to focus on what is being asked in the question, all right. So topic interpretation, we will discuss this thing comprehensively. It is just uh, to make you understand what is keeping closely to the topic, all right. Communism was developed due to poverty, okay. Okay, but that example can be quoted in a something rephrased manner. I mean, you can quote only the negative aspect. Negative, okay. That means class struggle in itself, we cannot say it's a bad thing. It's not a negative aspect. Class struggle. Yes, class struggle has given new perspective to the world, isn't it? Classless society, new perspective. That means equality. Equality, they strived for equality, so equality is not bad. But what is associated with communism, that is bad. Like concentration of power in few hands or one hand, like the example of Stalin. Stalin, सबको पता है Stalin, Russia, USSR president, Stalin, or maybe you can take the example of China as well. All right, so that particular examples can be taken. So communism is a very broader term. So all socialism or all communism is not desirable. Saying this thing will not be the right thing. Even our Indian constitution respect communism, isn't it? So we have democratic communist parties. We do have democratic communist parties like, yes, CPI, Marxist, CPI Marxist. All right. So this is the keeping closely with the topic. All right. So next thing is that you need to understand, arrange their ideas in an orderly fashion. Arrange their ideas. Now these are our ideas. Whatever we are talking since the beginning of our class, we are talking about different ideas with respect to different topics, isn't it? We talked about Vijay Mallya, we talked about Baiju's case, we talked about technological aspect, different things we uh, talked. But when you are writing essay, you will be generating points randomly in this manner only. All right. So through brainstorming, you will be generating points. So how to do this brainstorming and everything, we will discuss this in detail in class. But after generation of these points, you need to write these points in an orderly fashion. Now what does this orderly fashion mean? What could be the meaning? Orderly fashion, chronological order. All right, okay. What else? Chronological order, correct. What else? That is correct, chronological order. Sometimes, but in essay this chronology will not be applicable in all essays. All right. So sometimes when you are writing historical perspective, in that case you will have to write chronologically. All right. So if you are giving reference of some history, all right, let's say you are talking about the secularism or equality practice in India, equality, let's say. So was this equality present in ancient India? No, no, nobody talked about equality in ancient India. Or yes, Buddhism, did Buddha talked about equality? Yes, he did. Equality. Was democracy present in ancient India? Yes, yes. Maybe some other form, but yes, democracy was present. You will learn this Sabha and Samiti in ancient India. So this equality, when we are talking about equality, yes, in ancient India, even during Vedic period, there was no caste-based distinction. There was no caste-based distinction. There was no even Varna system, or maybe there was this social mobility based on the profession during the Vedic society. All right. So everything, this caste and everything has evolved in the later period, post-Vedic period. So equality, this idea was present in ancient India. It was preached by Gautam Buddha. It was preached by Jainism. All right. What about medieval India? Do we see equality during medieval India? Did anybody promote it? Yes. Feudalism was present during medieval India. Okay, yes. Was equality present during medieval India? Not, I'm not talking about absolute. Yes beta. Okay. Yes. All right. So I'm not talking about absolute equality. All right. Even today we can't see absolute equality. Can we? We cannot. There is this inequality since time immemorial, or since this humanity has born. There have been part and parcel of our lives. But what about medieval India? Was there this equality in any form? Yes. Did anybody promote this equality? Yes. Who did? Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj promoted equality. Very good. Yes. Anybody else? Yes, correct. Akbar, through his Din-e-Ilahi. Din-e-Ilahi. UPSC has asked question in prelims on this Din-e-Ilahi. Universal religion. It was a combination of all major religions of the world. He promoted equality. Akbar. He did not discriminate. Then even Bhakti movement. Bhakti movement tried to preach this society equality. They are trying to preach equality to this society since ancient times. Bhakti movement. All right. So when you're talking about equality, let's say there is this essay on equality, you will be writing this in a chronological manner. So this is one aspect of this orderly fashion. All right, writing in a chronological manner. Then another aspect, what could be the another aspect? All right, now let's talk about this topics that we have seen. Let's say this topic, science and technology is a panacea for economic growth and security. Now, when we are connecting this science and technology, you have to interlink with economic growth as well as security. So orderly fashion means, it will mean first you establish connection between S&T, S&T's connection with economic growth. This will be one aspect. Then second will be, you will establish connection between science and technology and security. All right. This is orderly fashion. Mix you should not mix points from security in this section or points of economic growth in this section. Write it separately, write in an orderly fashion, write in an organized way. All right. So when we will be writing essay, we will have to write two sides of the essay. That means you will have to write positive aspects as well as negative aspects. All right. Positive aspects as well as negative aspects. So we talked about the positive aspects earlier, that how science and technology is relevant for economic growth, how science and technology is relevant for security. What are its negative aspects for economic growth? Are there any negative implications of science and technology for economic growth? Yes. Recent example of science and technology being a threat to economic growth or economy in more general way. Any example, recent example? Very good. AI, artificial intelligence. You must be hearing this thing. It's the greatest threat to employment, isn't it? If you, how many of you are using ChatGPT? 1, 2, 3, 4. Very good. Very good. So what this work is done by 10 people or 20 people. Now it is done only by this ChatGPT. It is a machine. Nobody is working behind this ChatGPT. All right. It's giving you the result, isn't it? And this ChatGPT now it is being used throughout all industries. All right, so this ChatGPT is uh, being a threat to the employment. All right. Yes. Animated movies are being made from the ChatGPT. All right. Yes. So this aspect is again threat to. Any other example? reusable rocket vehicle by ISRO. Okay. Deep fake videos, very good. Deep fake videos or anything like any cyber crimes, phishing, cyberbullying, all right, cyber attacks, cyber terrorism, cyber espionage, everything is directly threat to security as well as economic growth, isn't it? Cyber espionage क्या होता है? Spying, spying. Space pollution, again it is threat, space pollution, isn't it? Not all technological advancements are good for humanity. Along with its advantages, it is also bringing some disadvantages, isn't it? So you will write positive aspects in first part. This will be one part. All right, let's say it's a part A. After this positive aspects, you will write part B. Again you will write S&T, economic growth, negative aspects. Same S&T, let's say this is third point and this will be your fourth point. S&T for security, its negative aspect. For security, how it is related? S&T for security, how it is related? Is S&T creating challenges for security? Yes, bilkul. As I said, cyber security, cyber crimes, they are direct. This technology is creating direct threat to security. Any other threats created by science and technology? Enhancements in drones, correct? Yes. Hawala transactions, correct? Yes. Anything else? Hawala transactions for money laundering and black money circulation. Anything else? Nuclear weapons or weapons of mass destruction, WMD, like chemical weapons, bio weapons. Yes, these are all negative repercussions of science and technology on security aspect. Even are you aware of the 2008 cyber Mumbai attack? Mumbai attack 2008. Yes. Who was the terrorist who was captured by India? Kasab, Ajmal Kasab. Correct. So did they use any technology for carrying out this attack? Yes. Navigation purpose they use technology. For communication purpose they use satellite phones, isn't it? So this technology is creating threat to security, isn't it? So this is how you will have to write your essay, but do not mix any point anywhere. So writing randomly, you will get marks randomly. All right, anything. So writing in orderly fashion is important. And one more aspect is there. So within this science and technology, you will have to prioritize points. Within this science and technology, you will have to prioritize your points. That means the most significant science and technological aspects, like I say ICT, it's a significant aspect that we will write in the top. Least significant aspect will be written in the bottom. Are you getting my point? So prioritization of your points is also important. So within this point, you will also prioritize points according to its importance. All right. So we will discuss these things in detail. And to write concisely means to the point. We do not need to write in a descriptive manner. All right. If you want to convey one point, convey it directly, concisely, in minimal words, but if that should be effective and exact. So credit will be given for exact and effective expression. That means exact expression means expression means Yes, correct. To write what is asked, exact expression. Exact expression means for sustainable development. You can convey the meaning of sustainable development in only two words, sustainable development. But instead of it, if you are using one line or two line to what is the sustainable development for conveying what you want to say, so that is not going to work. So you will have to write concisely. That means use proper keywords wherever it is required. All right, and write to the point. All right, so writing in a descriptive manner should be avoided. All right, this writing in a descriptive manner should be avoided. So if you want to write a story, all right, story of somebody in our introduction, that we will do generally. We start our essays with a story or maybe example. So if you're writing a story, your story should not be more than 100 words. It should not be more than 100 words. It is the maximum limit, because you are to write this essay not more than 100 or 1200 words. So writing story within 100 words is again important. So that means only one page of your copy. All right. So exact and effective expression. Effective means here we will use different keywords. All right. So we will learn how to use these keywords. Keywords. So let's say there is this word revolution. Now if I ask you, combine this word with some other words and try to generate some keywords, some convincing keywords with respect to, or for this question, let's say, what steps will you suggest to uplift the Indian society, or to empower the Indian society, or to ensure the progress of Indian society? आपल्या प्रगतीसाठी आपण काय स्टेप्स घ्यायला पाहिजेत समजा. आता ही how this particular word can be combined. For example, I will give one example: financial revolution. I am just combining this financial word with revolution word. Agriculture revolution, excellent. Yes, yes. Industrial revolution, very good. Then ऐसे बड़े बड़े वर्ड्स यूज करने हैं, बड़े बड़े वर्ड्स. इंडस्ट्रियल रिवोल्यूशन, और बहुत सारे वर्ड्स हैं. यस बेटा. व्हाइट रिवोल्यूशन, ठीक है, वो तो हो गया व्हाइट रिवोल्यूशन, बट यस इट कैन बी यूज्ड व्हाइट रिवोल्यूशन. समथिंग न्यू, social revolution, very good. Yes, white as well as social. Yes, anything else? Think. Economic revolution, okay. Next, educational revolution, very good. Educational revolution. Next, scientific revolution, very good. Scientific revolution. Yes. Cultural revolution, very good. Cultural revolution. Yes, anything else? Technical or technological, let's say technological revolution, or digital revolution. Digital revolution. And so on. Many words can be formed by using this revolution word. All right. Similarly, we can do for many words. This we will discuss in a comprehensive manner in our comprehensive lectures. Another example: empowerment. For this question only, we can use this word empowerment along with many other keywords: educational empowerment, social empowerment, cultural empowerment, isn't it? So this is effective expression. So writing these keywords or generating keywords on the spot is going to definitely is going to convince the examiner that you have good grasp over the subject, you know things better than other your competitors, all right, and he or she will definitely put some extra numbers for your essay, all right. Any question? No question? कुठे काही डाऊट आहे, कुठे काही वाटतंय, काही आयडिया कुठे डिस्कशन मध्ये एक ओव्हरऑल आयडिया येते आपल्याला, एसे गेटेबल वाटतंय, गेटेबल वाटतंय थोडंसं का भीती वाटते अजून, नाही ना? आपण लिहू शकतो असे एक थोडंसं अजून मेहनत केली तर, एवढं तरी वाटतं आयडिया, तेवढंच टास्क आहे आजच्या लेक्चरचा की यू शुड बी थिंकिंग येस इट इज डुएबल थिंग, एवढीच आयडिया आहे. बाकी त्याच्यावरती आपण एक कॉम्प्रिहेन्सिव्ह रिगरस प्रॅक्टिस केल्यानंतर बऱ्याच गोष्टी तुम्हाला इझी होणार आहेत. आणि पहिल्या एकाच लेक्चरमध्ये कोणाला जमत नाही ते जमणारच नाही. ते आपण असं काही आज खास काही असं डिटेलमध्ये डिस्कशन पण घेतलं नाहीये, एक ओव्हरऑल इन जनरल एक आयडिया आपण अंडरस्टँड करतोय आजच्या लेक्चरमध्ये. ठीक आहे, ऑल राईट, देन लेट्स स्टॉप हियर. ठीक आहे, इफ यू हॅव एनी डाउट्स यू कॅन आस्क मी आफ्टर द क्लास एज वेल. ऑल राईट, थँक्यू.